Check, check. Now I'm audible. Yeah. This exactly, reminds me of how a typical college or a school setup used to be. When you're there on the stage for the final time, the light goes off or the video, doesn't come up. So I'm sure all of you would have been in some situation. Most of the time, I have been on that side when such situations happen. But unfortunately, today I'm at this side, getting things sorted here. So just give me a moment and we'll try to get this thing out. Yeah. I think let them figure that issue, because that's again something that we are never taught in college, right? You are taught about programming, you are taught about networking, you are taught about database, but you are never taught about getting all these things done, right? So I think let's leave it on the experts, let them figure that out. So sorry for the delayed start, apologize for that. And first of all, a huge welcome to all of you to the city of Nizams, the land of biryani. And just like Kubernetes orchestrates containers, today we are trying to orchestrate learning and collaboration through this event. I am Atulpriya Sharma. I am a senior developer advocate at InfraCloud Technologies. I am also a CNCF ambassador and one of the co-organizers for KCD Hyderabad. Now, the first time I was introduced to Kubernetes was about 3 years back. And it was interestingly during an interview. So when I was interviewing, I was tasked with an assignment to containerize an application. And at that point in time, a container for me or Docker for me was a big blue whale. The only thing I knew about Docker was it is something that is blue. It has a whale in between. That's the only thing I knew about what Docker was, right? So when the interviewer asked me that, hey, you need to containerize it, and I was like, can you give me a couple of days? Let me just figure this out. So I quickly Googled, and I came across a video, zero to hero containers or Docker, zero to hero for Dockers. And it was a video by Tech World with Nana. So I went through it, spent a couple of hours. I got an idea of what containers are. I Dockerized it, created the application, submitted it. And luckily, I cleared the interview, and I'm here. So as and when I started learning more about Kubernetes and the entire cloud native landscape, one of the things that I got introduced to was the community. So in the 10 years of my journey in the IT industry, I was never part of any technical community until 3 years ago. Everything I did was in college, and I had absolutely no idea what things existed and how things work. Cool, so I think this is done. Yeah. So interestingly, the first ever event a tech event that I attended was in this very room. I was sitting over there, and the event was on cloud computing. It was a Google Cloud Developer Meetup, and Janki Ram was giving a keynote over here. And for me personally, this event, speaking here today, is a complete circle. From starting as an attendee there as my first tech meetup to coming here and being a part of the organizing team at KCD Hyderabad. So when I came to know about the Google community, I also realized that there should be a cloud native community as well. So I Googled and I realized, yes, there was a community. Rather, there is a community. So a community that was started by Vineet in 2019 was fairly flourishing. We were doing meetups, and then COVID happened. And when it was COVID time, everything took a backseat. Everything from in-person became virtual. So the community did a lot of virtual events during the COVID era. And that's when I reached out to them that, hey, how can I be a part of this community? And the first meetup that happened after COVID, I was a part of that meetup. And I interacted with the organizers, and I was like, hey, how do I contribute to be a part of this community? So I started with volunteering engagements. So I used to stand at the entry gates, welcoming guests, and then slowly and steadily taking up a talk, talking about Docker, talking about a couple of things, and then eventually becoming organizers for the group. So what you see here is the deck that we present on every meetup. So any of you who have attended any of the previous CNCF Hyderabad meetups, I'm sure you are familiar with this screen, because this is how we start the presentation, start the meetups. So this is a brief overview of how the community has grown in the last 1 year, that is the post-COVID era. Interestingly, in 2023, beginning around January, we were just about 65 members in the community. And last night I checked, we are about 1,200 people in the community, and that's a massive number that we have. We have also done around 10 in-person meetups in the last year. So on an average, you can say 1 meetup every month. So we do meetups on the last weekend of every month. So a lot of people know about it. And here's a picture of one of our biggest meetups that we did. This was around observability, and we had about 275 in-person attendees, not registration. So this was a massive event that we did in February. Now, a lot of us are part of communities, and a lot of us have attended a lot of events, a lot of KCDs as well. And that's when we realized that the community in Hyderabad is growing, and we need to do something big, something bigger, because we had attended KCDs in other cities, and even the community members were reaching out to us and asking, hey, why doesn't Hyderabad have a KCD? You know, KCD Mumbai was there, KCD Bangalore was there, KCD Chennai was there. Why the hell Hyderabad is not there? So that's when Vinny took up the mantle, and he reached out to CNCF that, hey, we want to do a KCD Hyderabad. So we started this exercise. We notified CNCF in about May 2023. So it's been just above a year, and there has been rigorous inputs that have been gone from our side, from the CNCF side, a lot of back and forth in making this event a success, or rather, eventually this thing happening today. Now, while we were doing all of these exercises, we were not aware of how the event would be perceived by the community, because this was the first time we were doing it. And trust me, it left all of us speechless. We were all surprised in terms of the turnout that the event saw. So I'm sure a lot of you would have seen this image on Twitter and LinkedIn that we had posted. We had got 182 CFPs that were submitted. And this by far is the largest number of CFPs submitted on an average for the first KCD anywhere. So this is a big feat that we achieved for KCD Hyderabad. And for a lot of you who are here, or a lot of you who would be watching this video later on, if your talk is not selected here, one of the major reasons would be this, because the entire day we could have a max of 20-25 talks. And when you get 180 inputs, it becomes really difficult. So we had formed an external panel of architects, senior architects, solution architects, all experts to help us choose the talks here. So the second thing that happened was the tickets going out. I think this again is a post that all of you saw, and we joked that if Golconda Fort allowed us to host an event in Golconda Fort, we would have probably moved from T-Hub to Golconda Fort to accommodate the number of people, right? So 2 weeks or about 3 weeks before the event, we had to shut down the tickets because of the venue restrictions that we had. And I know a lot of people reached out to a lot of us in terms of that, hey, can we get passes? Can we get something? And I was like, even if I want to give, I cannot give because there is no place in this venue. So this is a learning for us. Probably next time, if this happens, we would try to make it bigger. So today's agenda is, I'm sure you all of you have got your pamphlets with the agenda, so you know what's happening. We are running a little delayed, but we'll ensure that everything falls in place. So one of the things that we would request you all to do is attend as many sessions as you can, because that's a great way to learn about various technologies. We have a good mix of introductory talks. We have a good mix of intermediate talks, talks around DevOps, talks around Gen AI, talks around WASM, security, supply chain, so on and so forth. So make sure you attend those sessions. And also we would be running a contest here. So anyone who is attending sessions, please click photos of the sessions, post them on Twitter, tag KCD Hyderabad, hashtag KCD Hyderabad. And we would be giving out 5 exam vouchers for CK and CKAD, with each voucher being worth $400. So make sure that you try to attend sessions, tag us, and you could win a certification voucher. Secondly, this event wouldn't have been possible without our sponsors. So I cannot thank our sponsors enough. We have NPCI, Devtron, Prodivance, Manage Engine, Dragonfly, Grafana, Loft, Utho, RazorOps, and Trust One. Because while I have been one of the organizers here, I know being a sponsor and deciding to sponsor an event is a critical decision, and especially for an event that is happening for the first time. If there's an event that has happened for a few years, they know the event is successful, or they have some metrics to judge whether they want to sponsor the event or not. But thank you to all the sponsors for entrusting us and believing in the community that this is which is going to be exciting, and a lot of people will turn up. So once again, thanks to all the sponsors for making KCD Hyderabad a success. So they have their booths set up outside. So 11:30, please, the booths would be open. Go to the booths, see what exciting things they are doing, interact with them, learn what's happening in their part of the world. They might have some interactive stuff, interact with them. I'm sure in your kits you would have received a booth attendee pass. So that's again a contest that we are running. So make sure you visit all the booths, get it stamped, put it in a box, and 5 people would be receiving some interesting goodies as well. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to cover, before I hand over to Prathamesh to take over things. in simple, you attend these sessions, you network as much as you can, meet people, because your interaction with anyone, you don't know how it will lead to something groundbreaking, some groundbreaking collaboration in the future. Also, Hyderabad is not Hyderabad without biryani, and that was the first thing that I was in charge of, being the explorer in chief for KCD. One of the things that I took on my agenda was, yaar, biryani achhi honi chahiye, because I know a lot of people are coming here are not from Hyderabad, and there have to be a biryani because Hyderabad is associated with biryani. So we have, thank you so much for the chair. So we have delicious biryani outside, during lunch. So please savor it. That will give you a taste of Hyderabad. We also sent out a list of things to do in Hyderabad. Check out that list if you are here over the weekend. Go out, explore the city as well. It's a great city. You'll have a great time. And lastly, yeah, do all these things and make the first KCD Hyderabad a great, successful event. And once again, thank you so much for being here. I'll be roaming around, looking forward to interacting with you during the day. Thank you so much. Now, before I leave the stage, I want a video of us meeting KCD Hyderabad. So I just record a video which will probably use it sometime, or it will remain in my hard disk, I don't know. So can we just help me do that? So I'll say 1, 2, 3, and I want all of us to say KCD Hyderabad. Okay? 1, 2, 3. KCD Hyderabad! Thank you so much, and see you guys around.
Thank you so much, Atulpriya, for this insightful and inspiring session. You have truly spread across the air of positivity in our hall. So thank you so much once again.